Hey everyone, this is Leadership in the Moment, and I am Tim Huff. This month at TurkNet Leadership Group, we're talking about curiosity. And, I've always thought that curiosity is an underrated value, and which is a shame because, when used properly, curiosity can be truly valuable for you and your team members. It can help unlock things like creative thinking and vulnerabilities within yourselves and within your teams. And it can create true connectedness with your teams when you're trying to think through problems. So, how does curiosity show up in your leadership? Here's one simple way that you can find out how well and how often you ask questions. So, how well do you ask questions that are open ended, that are not like yes, no questions, questions that are free of judgment and not like inquisition like and putting people on the defensive, or questions that are not leading for an answer, but open to multiple possibilities? These are the kind of questions that are exploration based and allow for team members to learn and grow. So, okay, here's an example. So let's say somebody on your team just made a boneheaded decision, or at least a decision you thought was boneheaded. And, a non-curious way of approaching that situation would be, why on earth did you make that decision? Or what on earth were you thinking? Something like that. Although a lot of times those can be open-ended questions, they're not free of judgment, and they're inquisition-like and immediately put people on the defensive. So a curiosity-based approach to something like this would be asking questions like, so what facts led you to that conclusion? Or what kind of outcome do you expect from that? Or what other options did you consider? What would be a different way of looking at the problem? Or, what steps should we take at this point? So if you ask questions like this, it invites the person to think freely and to think through their actions. And, another way to approach leadership curiosity is just through the lens of learning. Just being a curious person in your everyday situations. How often do you ask questions that are focused on how and why certain things are done within your teams? And it's not to be judgmental, but really just to explore if there is a better way to do things. So asking questions like, why do we process documents like this? Or what could make this step in the process more efficient? Or what would help us make a better decision at this step in the process? And, it's all about just exploration and testing assumption, just truly learning about the everyday situations and people in your lives. Okay, so here's your in the moment tip. So be aware of how often and how well you ask questions in your everyday situations, and how well you try to learn about people and situations before making judgments. So as curiosity can be an amazingly wonderful leadership trait and making a big difference within you and your teams. So until next time, be curious, be in the moment.